I'm not an artist. I like art. I like certain parts of art and what I like to look at. I don't want to look at something that's a bunch off the wall stuff. I want to look at two deers fighting or horses running across the hill, something like that. That's what I call art.
My name is Christopher Shane Heinemeyer. Of course, I go by my middle name Shane, and I am the founding director, and I'm also the president of Habitable Spaces.
I'm Allison Ward, and I'm one of the founding directors of Habitable Spaces. I'm a performance artist and a video artist, and I lived in New York for 17 years.
I found for me, New York was hard. It was just hard to work and make enough to make enough money to survive and make your artwork. I found it kind of challenging.
One thing that I realized being in New York was that means that the work you're making is very commodity based. It's very singular. It's a kind of unsatisfying cycle. When I met Shane, he was kind of ready to get out of New York, and we wanted a space with artists, we wanted a space that was creative, and we wanted a space where we were responsible for everything, that we made everything around us. Shane grew up in San Antonio, but his grandmother and grandfather grew up in Kingsbury, and we are on his grandmother's land.
But when we first came out, we realized, there's no way this is ever going to happen if we get an apartment in Austin or San Antonio or whatever surrounding area of San Marcos and then come work on the weekends. It would never happen. So we just bit the bullet and got a big 20-foot by 13-foot military tent with a wood-burning stove, and we moved out here in a tent.
It's not just about becoming close to nature, which you would be living out here. I mean, we're in the middle of a huge forest, we are on a farm, so it's that, and there's very basic cycles when you're so close to nature.
A lot of artist residency programs, artists go and just make the work that they've been making, and it's kind of a continuation of what they always do, but they get to do it somewhere else, or they get funded as well. Sometimes they're funded more than others.
And a place like this gives an artist somewhere to live, gives them a purpose, which is helping out on the farm and making their life here, and then giving them the opportunity to explore their art with new people. I think I'm very excited about 2015 when we have different artists here, a bunch of them living at the same time, how they'll affect each other. I think that's great.
We're trying to make this farm completely self-sustaining. Right now it's not, but we hope that one day we can get all of our goods from the farm, and the farm provides all of the food and for everyone on it.
I feel like if we got the farming aspect kind of going first, we can kind of work on the artist residency and stuff a little bit more later. But for us, it's kind of it's a no-brainer. The thing is, being able to provide the food for the artists and ourselves as much as possible from the farm is part of the whole cycle of our way of life out here, what we want.
Coming here, there's a community, and not only a community of people, of plants and animals, and they have to become a part of that community.
So we have our house. Our first kitchen that we ever built is actually now our seed and feed house. It's where we keep our animal feed, and we get our seed started. And
so far on the property, we've got a guest cabin, we've got a beautiful kitchen.
Then we have our bottle brick shower house, and that is going to be 2 showers. One's going to be Allisonized, and the other one's going to be private. It's just separated by a wall in the middle.
We have an earth oven. We have an outdoor kitchen that was built for us by an artist, Jesper Abil. We have chicken coops, duck coops, a beautiful, huge garden.
Chicken coop was the first thing we ever built. We have a chicken coop up at this chicken yard, and another chicken coop downstairs where the big garden is. Yeah, that's all we got right now.
I've lived in Kingsbury a little over 10 years, but my family has been here since the mid-1800s.
I've lived in Kingsbury with my family for about 16 years.
How would I describe Kingsbury? It doesn't change much. It pretty much looks the same way it has for the last 50 years.
We like getting together and having community activities like the barbecue that we're doing today.
There's a lot of rural tradition here. It's kind of a slower pace, I guess.
Allison Ward and Shane Heinemeyer are dynamos of energy. They're just wonderful people, and then just really concerned about the community.
I think it's important to be involved with your community, and you know, this community is really important to me. My family on my dad's side came from out here in Kingsbury, and so there's a real sense of pride out here in Kingsbury as far as family goes. And when we first got out here, I was like, well, how do I get more involved, and how do I get people to know that we're not weirdos out here? And so I joined the local volunteer fire department, and it's like a family in itself, and it's really great to be a part of. I kind of want to offer art to the people and culture to the people and stuff that a lot of people here in Kingsbury love it when we have international artists come out, because they're like, some people have never been out of the state of Texas. A lot of these country people have a lot to offer, and they have a lot of really interesting information, and they're really interesting people.
That's what we want to do. We want to break open barriers and expose people to different things that they've never seen before, and just get them thinking a little bit about it. And it's just as important to expose artists as it is to expose our community.
Last year, Habitable Spaces put on a great fall festival. It's awesome. We had strolling minstrels, and we had a trading post, and lots of food, and it was great.
We always wanted to have this trading post where art goods and farm goods are traded on the same commodity level for barter. With the Idea Fund, we were able to make that part of the fall harvest party. So we literally built a little mercantile shop in line with all the other buildings.
Well, the trading post was set up with an idea, as I understand it, of trading, things of artistic value, and to create a bartering system.
It looks like they're bringing something new here, a new concept, a chance for those with artistic, creative talent to grow.
I applaud their efforts. I think we should do more of that and set an example for everybody on how to maintain a life that's close to the land and close to the food and the nutrition, and eat what grows out of the ground or off from a tree rather than coming out of a factory.
As they grow, and they are working so hard at it, as they grow, I think Habitable Spaces will be a big part of what's going on out here in Kingsbury.
So it's a completely different perspective about making art, and to make art in this environment it shifts your vision. And I think it'll really make people's minds expand. The
art world and the direction it's going in isn't something, it doesn't have what we're trying to do. We kind of want something where the artwork's outside the gallery, outside the museum. The lifestyle that we live is kind of like the art as well. I kind of think of it as a living sculpture garden, and that's kind of where I want to see it in the future as we grow and build these habitable spaces.
Thank you.